How many times have you had a thought pop in your head and then spent the next 5 minutes berating yourself about that thought? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today, because I want you to understand that it's not a good thing to fight your thoughts. It's so much better to just train your subconscious mind instead. And throughout this video, I'm going to give you some helpful insights of exactly how to do that. So I guess the best way for us to start is to understand that you are not your thoughts. We are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are manifestations of who our subconscious mind believes us to be. So in a way, rather than just believing the thoughts and believing them to be true, we get to use them as feedback. We get to appreciate that Janet on the planet has a particular definition about this event or this thing or what was said. She is interpreting it in a certain way that has produced this thought pattern. So instead of fighting that thought, we get to hold little Janet on the planet. We get to see her for the protector that she is always trying to be. We get to observe the thought rather than being sucked into it. Because like I say, the first thought, that's a manifestation of who our subconscious knows us to be. The second thought is our responsibility. An untrained mind just runs with it. An untrained mind lives purely in its subconscious form, believing that everything that it thinks is the truth of who they are. It's only when we become slightly conscious of the fact that actually I can observe my thoughts, therefore I can't be my thoughts, that we're then able to control them. But what an awful lot of people do is they fight against the thought. They fight against who they used to be. They try and minimize or shrink or obliterate who they used to be. They try and kill the egoic self in order to be born anew. But that's honestly not how it works. Every time you try and kill any part of you, it just lies dormant, waiting to wake up again. So just see it for what it is. It's an old version of you. It's the protector trying to stay relevant, but it is not you. It's like an old pair of trousers that you've grown out of now. So instead of beating yourself up for having a thought, just understand that, yeah, you had that thought and that's fine. It's just giving you feedback of who you used to be, of who you no longer wish to identify as. You can say, I hear you, I see you, but this is no longer true for me. And actually, that reminds me of a conversation I had just the other day. I was speaking with somebody, not a client, I might add, who categorically told me that everybody on the planet needs to suffer and live a challenging life. And I literally said, well, that's not my reality. That's not what I choose to believe. My life is actually really, really awesome. And, and she didn't believe me because her belief system says that that's an impossibility. But I didn't fight her. I didn't fight her on it. I just stated my truth. I stated my truth calmly and confidently because this is who I know myself to be. I didn't try to make her wrong in her opinion that everybody on the planet needs to suffer. It's a very popular belief system, that, right? But it's obviously a belief system that keeps you in suffering. So although I didn't make her wrong for having her belief system, I stated my case. I told her that in my reality, that just isn't true for me. And that's what you can do with your subconscious thoughts. You don't have to beat them into submission. You don't have to make them wrong. You just say, no, this isn't something that I believe to be true. The person I was speaking to believes that life equals suffering. It's a definition that she has. So I want you to look at the thought that has caused you pain or caused you any form of suffering and find out what that definition is. Yeah. What are you making the circumstance or the situation mean about you? Is the definition something that you choose to keep? Or is it something that you wish to let go of and find a new, better feeling definition for? Now, what most people do is to try and change their subconscious mind, their subconscious beliefs through words alone. Unfortunately, although that can work, like intense repetition will absolutely work to rewire your brain, to rewire your neural pathways, the quickest way is through emotion. And your egoic self learnt an awful lot of its definitions through intense emotional experiences. And that's what made them so strong. So you can ask the question, what am I making this mean about me? Or even better, you can become the observer and ask little Janet on the planet, or your equivalent of, what are you making this mean about you? And if you listen to the response of that, you'll understand the belief system that lies underneath it. And then you get to ask yourself, is this a belief that I want to believe? Or is there a better feeling belief that I can now adopt? And then to really solidify that new belief in your system, in your subconscious mind, you get to add an emotional intensity to it. You get to imagine yourself literally putting on the meat suit of the you that you choose to be and walking around like that person, experiencing the relief, experiencing the confidence, the gratitude. Because all of those emotions are going to make it so much easier that when you, just before you go to bed and just as you're waking up, tell yourself these new stories, it'll make it easier for your subconscious to believe because you have been walking as that version of you. Inside every one of us, we have an emotional guidance system. And when we tell ourselves a thought, when we tell ourselves a story that doesn't feel good to us, that is our indication that the story we are telling is not our truth. It's not really the truth of all that we are. And you'll find out that, you're not the little human on the planet. You're also not the observer because you can observe yourself observing. What you actually are is pure consciousness. And when you get into that state of being, you can really just guide your little Janet on the planet, your little human on the planet, through all the hills and the valleys, right? But from a little human perspective, you get to ask that question, well, this feels really bad to me. So what's a better feeling thought that I could be having? Does this feel closer to my truth? Does this feel closer to all that I already know myself to be? I was having a conversation with one of my clients about debt. And debt to an awful lot of people is this awful, shameful, guilty thing. But that's just a definition, right? And we can change that definition. Debt can be perceived as your future you trusting you to be able to pay it back. It can be your future you knowing that, hey, I know that I am good for all of this, so I'm just going to let you have it right now. Debt can be seen as a way that the universe has supported you, just another means of cash. Now, a few weeks ago, I told the story of how I got myself into an awful lot of debt in the past. But my intention behind that was never to say that debt was a bad thing. Yeah, debt served me incredibly well. I just got to the stage where I didn't want to be in debt. And so, I've been paying off all of my debts. But nothing is inherently bad. Everything is neutral. We just get to apply these good and bad labels to it, which is what I'm talking about when I say definitions. What label are you attaching to everything? Because it's the labels that you attach from your subconscious belief systems that will either perpetuate the life you currently have or it will change it. When you can redefine debt as actually, this was how the universe supported me then, this was a loan from my future self, then debt stops being troublesome. It stops being a worry. Doesn't mean you don't get to pay it off. You still clear the minimum or whatever you can afford, but you stop feeling bad about it. When the thoughts of, oh, you're terrible, this is awful, start creeping in, when you start telling yourself that you should be doing better, you should be further along, you can go, oh, hang on, I am making debt mean that I am inherently a bad person. That doesn't feel good, therefore it's a lie. So what am I going to train my subconscious mind to believe about me instead? Then write a new story and live that story. Like I say, it's by the living, the embodying, that really teaches your subconscious mind the new version of you. When you fight against a negative thought, you're making that negative thought the focus of all of your attention. And because you're making it the focus of all your attention, that's where all of your energy is going. When you vilify debt, you're making debt the focus. So although you might love the debt to be gone, if you focus on the abundance, if you focus on the gratitude and the overflow, that's what you'll bring into your life. When you change the definitions, when you change the narrative about all the circumstances of your life, and you emotionally connect to a new way of being, your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept that. Because your subconscious mind doesn't think for itself. It responds to repetition and it responds to a high emotional intensity. If you keep making yourself wrong, it'll believe that you're wrong. So if you change the definitions, tell a new story, change the narrative about what certain things mean for you, then that's the story that your subconscious mind will pick up on. And like I say, this period of like about 20 minutes before and after sleep is the best time to be telling yourselves these new narratives, because that's when your subconscious mind is most suggestible. And then the physical action of walking as that version of you that you've just been programming your brain with, that's what makes it all click. Yeah. Whatever your subconscious mind believes is true for you. So you've just got to tell yourself a better feeling thought. And that's why it's so important that we do regulate our nervous system. Because if our nervous system is constantly on high alert, then we're not actually going to appreciate the emotional guidance system within us, right? We're never going to hear the intuitive nudges that always lead us down the correct path. And when I say correct path, I mean the right path for you, not for anybody else. Because just like your truth is your truth and nobody else's, your true path is your true path and nobody else's. And this is why you shouldn't accept other people telling you that you're wrong, because they're not on your path. You get to determine your path. You get to choose the narrative of who you are. You get to teach your subconscious mind all that you choose to be. You get to release all the other stories that you were brought up with. If they don't align with who you know yourself to be, who you choose yourself to be, because the only reason that you're choosing that is because that has also been gifted to you. If the stories of your upbringing don't align with who you choose to be, then you get to tell yourself a completely different story and walk your truth. But stop making yourself wrong. Stop making other people wrong. They're right as far as their world is concerned. You live in your world, and you're the only person that can truly govern that. So if you're thinking a thought that doesn't feel good, don't fight it. Don't try and convince it that it's stupid, that it's wrong. Just say, yeah, no, I don't align with that truth anymore. That's not my truth. Yeah? I hope all of that made sense. Thank you to everybody who said that they loved my yes. I love that you do. Thank you so much. I don't even know how many years I put into this, but yeah. If you have any questions, then please put them in the comments. I'm always here answering your comments. I really appreciate you being here. So thank you for all the likes and shares and loves and all of that. And if you would like one-to-ones with me, then the link to join me on a call is in the description. I do standalone calls, and for my signature program, my clients are usually 6- and 7-figure business owners, entrepreneurs, or leaders in their field. But like I say, there are so many other ways of working with me too. So check out the links below and find a way that feels good to you. And of course, there is the YouTube membership where we're going to do Q&A, and I'm often in there if you have any questions. Oh, and there's also a free 14-day mini course that you can make your way through. Like I say, all the links that you need are in the description. So the way to train your subconscious mind is through repetition or intense emotional experience. And that intense emotional experience can happen in your imagination. And one of the keys of doing this is to do it when your subconscious mind is in its most suggestible state. Yeah? So pick the most optimal time to do it. And that is 20 minutes before you fall asleep or 20 minutes after you wake up, around that Peter Pan kind of time. At that time, you are in an alpha wave kind of a brainwave state. And you can do it through imagination, you can do it through visualization, you can do it through perception, which I've spoken about before. And you can do it through affirmations or affirmations, asking why. Why am I so healthy? Why am I so rich? Why am I so confident? And because your brain hates open loops, it will always try to close them with the reason why. So instead of fighting against your thoughts, which gives your thoughts something to push back against, just teach your subconscious mind a new story, a new narrative to follow. Now, you're going to find another video just there. So if I don't see you on a call, if I don't see you in the YouTube membership, or if I don't see you in the workshop, then I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Take care. Bye.